How we doing, Rome? How's everybody? I have to come underneath the lights a little bit so I can see all your beautiful faces. Who are you texting? No, I'm talking to you, ma'am. Is it an important text? What did Trump do now? I got on a plane today, and I think Donald Trump was trying to go to war with the entire world. I was like, can you just at least wait till I land somewhere safe before you start shooting missiles? Anyways, enough about politics. If you guys have questions, line up. If not, I'm going to keep spinning this spinny wheel thing. Guess we're spinning spinny wheel thing, aren't we? Wait, what would be the, let's see what's on here. Surprise. What does surprise mean?
Look. They bring you out a box.
I like to draw it out with the heavy spinning. And we are, don't do it. I'm dying to know what the surprise thing is. So when it lands on surprise, what happens? Somebody brings me a surprise?
Yeah, a box.
A box?
Just adjust the wheel.
I don't know if it'll ever land on surprise. Let's have a surprise right now. Guys, it feels so good to be back in Rome. Yeah! What do we think it is? Has anybody else opened a surprise box yet?
Yeah.
All right, what have we had so far?
Ice cream first.
Ice cream first?
First.
When you all talk at once, it doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let's see. Here we go. Opening the box. Oh, look at this. I'm going to keep talking and stuff while my friend Krista hooks that on somewhere around here. Please don't poke me in the ass.
Do you want to run your belt loop?
Wherever you think it's going to be good besides my skin. Hey, you over there, you can ask a question while I get pierced in my butt.
I will do. I just wanted to say, I know that you do say Jensen is beautiful, but so are you.
Thank you.
Underestimate how beautiful you are.
Well, thank you for saying I'm beautiful.
You are.
Can you say it once more?
You are beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so my actual question is, you've done a series of work. You've been on Supernatural as well again. But what has been your most interesting experience or your best experience on set in some of the other shows you've worked on, and why?
That's a great question. They're all different. You know, Supernatural was when I did season 4 and introduced John in season 5 and was able to be Michael. I had come to convention after convention saying that's the best, most proud work experience I've ever been a part of, for several reasons. A lovely crew, lovely actors, very welcoming to everybody. You know, building a relationship with Jensen and Jared, building a relationship with the guys that I never worked with on that show, Rob and Rich and Misha and Shepard and Pellegrino. All these guys that I'd never even worked with have now become my best friends over the last 10 years, which is crazy. I've been doing this shit for almost 10 years, conventions. Do you ever think about that? It's a lot of conventions. And I keep coming back because you keep telling me I'm beautiful. It's great. It's a real ego boost. But the other shows are very interesting. You know, I worked on How to Get Away with Murder with such an award-winning, like, the actors on that show, like the kids that I worked with, not even Viola Davis. Viola Davis is she's on another level of acting that hopefully one day I could climb 100 stairs and 1,000,000 ladders and reach her beauty of presentation of being an actress. But the kids, they're like Ivy League educated, they care about the craft so much, and they just welcome the guest stars, you know, which is such a lovely thing, because I've worked on shows like 90210, where it wasn't as welcoming, and there was a lot of bickering behind the scenes, and I could say that shit because the show's canceled, but nobody really liked each other on that show, and that's probably why it's canceled. When you look at a show like Supernatural, it's still going. I mean, season 13? I couldn't think of a better season to bring back young John / Michael. Couldn't think of a better season to do it. I don't know if you guys saw the Entertainment Weekly article or the Upfronts article about the Scooby-Doo episode, or am I...
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Come on. Raise your hand if you don't know what Scooby-Doo is. Okay, you, ma'am. Ma'am? I think, yes, okay. Scooby-Doo is a legendary cartoon that is on the tip-top of the scale of being as campy and as ridiculous as possible. And to enter cartoon versions of Jared and Jensen
And baby.
could only be perfection. Perfection, as I spit everywhere. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, wait, I'm not even done answering the last question yet.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I wanted to talk about one more show. I just finished Criminal Minds, and the season finale of Criminal Minds aired the other night, and it was really cool because I got to shoot. Does everybody know Forrest Gump? Yeah. Lieutenant Dan, the guy with no legs? I got to shoot him in the heart in the finale. It was awesome. But then he lived, and it was just a very emotional ending to a very canceled Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. But I feel like we went out on a high note. It would have been better if I shot him and he died, and then William Forsythe, the guy that plays the Russian bad guy, shot me and I died, but we didn't know we were canceled yet, so we didn't do that. Anyways, next question.
Hello again.
Hi!
I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite part about conventions?
You and these people. Here we go. Ready for some emotional shit, guys?
Yeah.
So a book recently came out, Fangasm. What's the exact title?
Family Don't End with Blood.
Family Don't End with Blood. And these lovely women have served as my psychiatrist over the last, I don't know, 5 or 7 or 6, however many years I meet them. They're at most of the domestic U.S. cons, and we talk, and they'll pull me inside a room, and she'll just let me vent. And so when she asked me to write a chapter in this book, I told her, I was like, I'm not much of a writer. You know, I'm a reader and an entertainer, but I don't sit down and share my thoughts easily on paper, where many people find it easier to express themselves through words written. I don't. So anyways, I hit talk type on my computer, and then I talked 3,000 words of why I love conventions so much. And the reason is, I remember my very first convention. It was Asylum. It was in Birmingham, and I was with Amy Gumanek next to me, my first panel ever, and I sat down and I had a white beanie on, because that's what Jared did, and that's what I thought was cool. The pictures, if you can search them and find them out, you'll see how bright red and flushed my face is, because I was absolutely terrified. My answers went a lot like this. Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I realized that I'm like such a closed book, and I have so many things locked away, and that I'm never gonna be able to express myself and entertain you people the way I want to, because I'm terrified. And then my next one was New Jersey, and I met Richard Spade Jr. And Richard Spade Jr. and I had a meet and greet with about 10 or 15 people, and we went to the hotel bar for the meet and greet because we thought that'd be a good idea. We all sat down at the hotel bar, and I grabbed a menu, and I was like, all right, we're at the bar, everybody should order a drink. Everybody order a drink. They all ordered drinks, whatever it was. Bill came at the end, we're all done, wrapped it up. Rich goes, I got it, grabs the bill, signs it up, closes it up. Fast forward to the next morning when I'm checking out. They were like, would you like a printed copy of your receipt? I was like, of course I would. I know my hotel room's paid for and I don't order any room service, so it should say 0. So I got this bill for like 375 American dollars from the bar meet and greet. And I kind of knew at that point that this could be a good time if I allowed it, that we could play with each other and fool around. And through that, I started opening up to you guys, and then the fans started being receptive to the weird, goofball, inappropriate dude that I am, and you guys started sharing back with me, and I became a person that I am extremely proud of because of the fandom, period. I say it with 100% certainty that I would not be able to be the actor that I am, the friend that I am to my friends, the husband that I am to my wife, or the father that I am to my child, had I not had the experience of these conventions over the last 8 years. It made me realize that people are people and people are different. Everybody deserves a hug and everybody needs a hug, and that's what we do for each other. And it's fucking incredible. And you need to remember, the people that are new here, you are part of one of the most extreme and most special families you'll ever be a part of. You can depend on the person next to you, whether you know their name, in any circumstance. You can meet them, and they will take care of you, and you will take care of them. That is the Supernatural family, and that's what we've made here. So thank you for that awesome question. And also, if you have a chance, read the book, get the book, Fangasm, A Family Doesn't...
If you don't end with blood.
Whiskey. Here we go. Look, this is what it looks like. It's a really good book, and a lot of very important people, I mean, not important because we think they're important, but important because you allowed us to be important, have written chapters in it, and it's very truthful, and it's very honest. Highly recommend it. And who wouldn't take that advice from a man wearing a rainbow tail? That's how you know you can trust me, ladies and gentlemen. Like if I had a suit on and a tie and a proper haircut and I came to your door and I was like, listen, you need to buy this book, it's fantastic. Don't trust me. But if I came to the door and was like, hey, you made me awesome and I'm proud of myself, read about it. Anyways, next question before I let the whiskey talk anymore.
Hi. How was your experience on the set of Kings of Con?
Holy shit.
You're welcome.
First of all, let me start by saying there will indeed be... Does everybody know what Kings of Con is? Yeah. If you don't, whoever said no or remain quiet, all the people that said yes, make sure those people see Kings of Con. Kings of Con was created again because of you people. Period. There will be a season 2. I don't know. It won't be on Comic-Con HQ, which is not sad. But, you know, it's going to find another home, and I think that other home will be bigger. The show is so damn good, and Rob and Rich are so effing talented. I'm going to say effing from now on. I feel like I'm cursing too much. They're so unbelievably talented, and I can't tell you, to be a young guy, you know, I look at Rich and Rob as my mentors in the business. I look at them as mentors, as how I want to be a husband to my wife and kids, how I want to be a friend to my friends. You know, I look up to them so much, and so I was so flattered when they asked me to be in their comedy that Rich is going to direct and Rob's going to write. I haven't done a lot of comedy in my life, so I was nervous and I was terrified. And then I got on set and I went, holy shit, we're just mimicking a convention. I can do this. And then they told me, hey, we need you to be a real asshole. And I said, guys, the actors that I auditioned against in Los Angeles gave me the proper motivation. I've run into some real special guys along this journey trying to get a job and make a living in the entertainment world, and boy, there are some pricks out there. So Matt Cochran, Kings of Con character, is very much based off almost exact situations that I've had in or around the audition process. And it's just like where you have somebody in your face, another fellow actor that's got a bigger resume than you, and he is just a piece of shit. Like, no humanity, just nothing in him. So anyways, let's jump into the Kings of Con experience. It was, imagine this, right? Imagine you look up to two guys more than anybody else in the industry, more than Al Pacino or Benicio del Toro or any of the greats. I look at Rob and Rich as my greats. Those are the guys that I want to be like. I believe that they're so talented and so driven and so capable. I want to be like them. So when Rob hands you a script and he's like, oh, here's this nice half-a-page monologue I wrote for you, and you think, holy shit, how do I make this come out funny and without my voice cracking because I'm so nervous? And then you have Richard going, okay, listen, man, I need, you know, this is what I'm gonna need. And he's like in my ear, and I said, the only thing I can do right now is trust these two men that I look up to. And that was what it was. It became the most fun work experience, and I hate to say it, but more fun than being on Supernatural, but very similar, because the entire cast of Supernatural was there. Every single one of us were on the set at the same time. It just became spectacular. It became a place where I could be comfortable enough to try to be funny, which is not, you know, like, I feel like I can be funny for you people. I'm physically funny, I can be improv funny, but like, when Rob Benedict writes words that are so good, and there is a technique to say them, and an artistic style to say them to be funny, you're scared to death, because you don't want to let him down. You don't want to let down a man that you look up to. And so it just, you know, you got to manage the stress, and you got to manage the Richard. And you know, and then it doesn't help because Richard's directing, right? Richard's like, all right, so look, I need the shot here, and Matt, I need you to walk up here with your green drink, and I need you to say this and this. And then Rich is like, but I'm going to be right next to you, so I can't, I'm going to be in the scene also. It was just a really, really crazy experience, and I assure you, the ideas for season 2 will blow your mind. Because we have had a whole lot of funny shit happen since season 1. These international conventions always, they give us some stories. And we have all, like, have barely seen our families for a half a month. We're not going to see them for another half a month. And the shit that goes down, oh man, we're just all lucky to be alive and not in jail.
Unless you're Rob. Except Rob.
Safe. Like, when we're on this stage during a convention is the only time we're safe. The entire weekend. I don't know if that's the right answer, but Kings of Con set was awesome.
It's a great answer. And by the way, you're great too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Hello again.
Hello again.
So my question is, I know that you've already kind of touched on it, but there's been, I guess, as well as the actors, there's been a lot of personal growth within fans individually as well. So, you know, some people have managed to come up here and ask questions, or people have been on stage. But for you personally, what would you say is the one thing, or what would you say has been, I guess, the thing that you wouldn't have done before, or being the biggest change for you from a personal perspective? So it could be anything.
I think the biggest, you mean as a result of doing conventions or Supernatural, or just the journey?
I guess as a whole, in terms of everything, because it all kind of is blurred into one over the years. So, you know, the conventions are as a result of being on the show, etc. So I guess as a result of that, over the years of having done that, is there anything that you wouldn't have ever naturally done, but now you feel so comfortable to do that you don't even think about it? Are there things like that that you would be thinking?
Yeah, there's so many things, you know, there's so many things I wouldn't have done had I not been on Supernatural, and had I not been to be a part of the conventions and meeting the fans. First of all, I could never do this. You know, stand up here with a microphone and look at these lovely people all around me and be so happy and comfortable. This isn't something that comes natural. You know, the number one fear, right, in society is public speaking. Yeah. That's a fact, yeah. Right? Is that science? I'm looking at you because I feel like you know all the answers. She said yes with her conscience. So I would have been terrified to do all that. But more importantly, I was such a closed book. I was raised by a single father since I was 18 months old. My father we weren't poor, but we were very blue collar. And so I was the latchkey kid. I was the kid that, until I was old enough to go home, my dad would drive me outside of his mechanic shop, and I would sit in the back hatch of his car until he finished working, and then I would go home, and I just wouldn't talk to people. You know, I was a kid in a grown-ups environment, and I was, you know, I'd sit there. And then once I got old enough to drive and get home, or get picked up from school on the bus, I would go home, and then I would open the door, and I'd sit there, and I'd do my work, and there'd be like construction going on across the street, so I'd just like sit outside and watch construction. I was so independent and a loner and closed off. And then I came to LA and I met a manager, and she's like, you need to drop out of university and try acting for a year. And it kind of worked, you know. For the first 6 months I was in LA, I rented a hotel, and I would go back there every night and just sit. I would have there were months when I lived in LA on a twin short mattress. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's about 3 foot wide and about 5 foot long. And I'm 5'11", so you can imagine how I looked sleeping on it. I wouldn't talk to people for months at a time. It was crazy, right? I just had I didn't have the ability to make friends and socialize. I didn't know how to do it. I had been raised for so many years to be quiet and tough and hold your tears in. Just be a man, as they say, you know? And then I became an actor, and I realized, holy shit, these people want to pay me to cry out 24 years of emotions. I can do that. I need to let it out at this point. And through trying to allow myself to shed emotions and bring emotions to the surface, I think I became more open to you guys, and then you guys opened me more. I've heard stories of death and stories of life and stories of changing lives. I've heard all these stories, and I want to hear more, and it's changed me. You know, and I think that's what I've gotten from all this. I've gotten a massive friend circle and a massive circle of people that I think I can help and can help me. And that's all I want to do. At the end of the day, none of this shit matters. You understand that? Like your job and your clothes and your shoes and everything you buy and everything you do is just something to take up time, because the most important thing you could do is be humane to each other, right? We want to help each other. At the end of the day, one of these days, in a long time from now, we're all going to be part of the same dirt, right? It sounds grim, but it's not. So while we're here, why not have the best fucking time we can, right? I could not agree more. You guys, How about Reeve and Jason joining me?
We come bearing gifts.
Yeah, it's all right. I come drank all the gifts. All
Well,
right.
we heard you were out, so we brought you some more
I
anecdotes.
am not mad at you. And this is another thing I've gained. You want to know what's really changed about me? These are my friends. First of all, I met this guy 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. I know kind of a lot about him already. Cheers, gents. It's a real pleasure. Make some noise for these guys and make some noise for us drinking. I love, you know what's great? You're nailing it. But I love that it's only Scottish or Irish songs when it comes to drinking booze. It's like, yep, Italians don't drink, English don't drink, the Americans don't drink, just Scots, Irish.
I can tell you from experience. I learned last week. They do like to drink a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
What'd you do last week?
Well, we did another convention, Matthew. We hit the ground running.
In the Birmingham?
No, in the JIB8.
Oh, right, at JIB8.
Yeah.
We were kind of touching on JIB8.
There were some Scots, some Scottish folk,
Some Scottish folks,
some Irish folk.
Were they doing some drinking?
They were
Some drinking?
a little bit.
All right.
I'm so sorry, we totally crashed this panel. You have like an amazing question lined up, and you can ask it in 1 second. But I just want to do a little experiment.
And you can ask it, not right now.
Could you do me a favor? Could you sit right there?
Yeah, I'll sit
I
right
just want to do
here.
an experiment. I think
Hold on.
I feel like it needs to be done.
I need to,
Yeah, just scoot your tail to the side.
yeah, my tail's in the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This
I have
is
to put
just
my booze down. Mine's this one over here. Don't drink out of it, all right? I
This
don't want
is
you to
my-
get my herpes.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite part of being at a convention like this. Okay, ready?
Always.
Right now, me, this guy. Nobody's offering me any modeling contracts, but relatively handsome fella. Here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Now watch this. I just turned ugly. No, that's
Watch
the
this.
correct answer.
Watch
but
this.
Still, it's
Watch this. Look, now watch this.
now we're even at best.
I just turned talentless. You don't have to say.
Now watch this. And we. Oh shit! And we both. Now it's too much.
We are just
The
gonna
power.
be two ugly people sitting together tonight, dreaming about Reeve and his beautiful shiny guitar, with a glass of scotch in his hand, the neck scarf. Listen,
That just happened.
I'm gonna just say this right now, Reeve. I didn't really, because we were sitting in the green room, and I didn't really take a look at you head to toe. You are my fucking spirit animal. Like, if I could look like and have the ability to dress better than this, that's how I would want to look. Everything. I let the bracelet and then.
Yeah, I was complimenting his jeans in the green room, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's true. You should give me a compliment on my $12 jeans I've been wearing since high school.
It makes them even better.
Yeah, it's true. You just are awesome. I'm so glad I met you.
Thanks, man.
You want to take that guitar out of your hands?
I'll just be over here, guys. You guys.
Oh, hey, Jason, you're here. I didn't even see you over there. Oh, we actually are plugged in like something was going to happen. That was just
It may happen.
was it bad? I may have broke it.
But there's a lovely lady that's been standing at the microphone for such a long time while we were up here being dumb. You should ask your question.
So, hi guys, my question is for Matt. I'm sorry guys.
Don't be sorry.
If hopefully young John or Michael did come back, what do you think would be the first thing he would do?
He would go like this. Fuck yeah! No, that's so stupid. I'm so sorry. He would be doing a lot of things. He would come back and he would have his comb over, because clearly I have to play young John, because Jeffrey Dean Morgan is fucking Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So I would come back with my comb over, and if they brought me back to the future, I would be like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is everybody looking down at this little computer in their hand? I'd be confused. But if it was the past, I think I'd maybe be trying to make another baby with Mary. Who knows? That's Matt answering the question. It's nothing to do with young John. Do you have a question?
I think so.
You think so?
How are you guys?
Really good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm awesome.
Good.
So, at some point, we all had a few drinks too much.
Never.
Never.
I mean, I can't speak for them. I have
So,
never.
and we did stuff like embarrassing stuff and shit. And I wanted to know what's the worst embarrassing thing or the funniest thing you did.
Under the influence of alcohol?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Can I just tell you,
After
He
juice.
threw a chair.
excellent question that you could ask 100 times, and 100 times you would not get an honest answer.
Come on.
But well, I'm sure there is an answer. I've got one. Everybody put your cameras away. I have children. We were at a convention in Paris, and it was at Paris Disneyland. This was a few years ago. And I'm a sipper. I like to enjoy a cocktail, not a chugger. You know what I mean? And I went to...
Hey, tell him to call you back later. Thank you.
And so we were at this convention, and I had walked out to the front. We were done with everything, and I walked out in front of the place where we were staying, and there was this British man who was there with his family. And he just struck up a conversation with me. And he was the nicest guy in the world. Just like totally random, was not there for the show, had his family at Disneyland. And he just looked at me and said, "Brother, I need a beer. Can I buy you a beer?" And I was like, "Absolutely, you can buy me a beer. Let's go sit at the bar and have a beer." And then he bought me another beer. And then every time, like, he would say something like, my kids can keep me up, so have just a shot with me. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a great idea. So fast forward to him convincing me to go to this other bar. We went to this other bar, had a couple more drinks. And then when I finally had the presence of mind to be like, I did not say it this clearly, but I said I have to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna leave you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. It was a good time. And I walked back to the exact, I think, the same way that I walked to the bar, but something was different. And the gate that was like a solid 15 feet high was closed and locked, but I could see my hotel. It was right there. And the gate, the fence went really far that way and really far that way. And I said, it's probably not a good idea for me to walk that far. I should just climb over the fence. Thankfully there isn't, but if there were security camera footage of my Sisyphusian task to get over this wall, it would have been the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. It took me no less than 10 attempts to get over the wall. And when I got over the wall, I was so happy that I did, that I got 2 feet over and jumped. And I forgot how high the wall was. So I landed and I fell into some bushes. And then I stood up. I made it back to my room, went to sleep, woke up, plenty of time for whatever the next morning, came downstairs, and I had scratches all over me from the bush. It looked like I had gotten in a fight with many, many cats. Yeah, and so that's my story.
Great story.
How about you, Reeve? You got any?
I'd probably say no comment. I don't think anything's going to be as interesting as that, though, that's for sure.
I have one that's slightly interesting and more embarrassing, and I'm gonna share it with you because you are my people. So this was freshman year of college.
Nothing counts from that year.
Nothing counts from that year. What happens freshman year and those years after stays in
freshman year until you get to JIB.
So we went to a spring break thing my freshman year, like in Florida, Pensacola, Florida, which is on the panhandle of Florida, on the beach. All thousands of spring breakers show up. Me and 4 buddies go, we get a hotel room, share a hotel room, right? 2 beds. I'm sharing with one dude, other dudes are sharing there. There's like a dresser here with a TV on it. I am so far beyond intoxicated, okay? I should have stopped drinking 18 or 20 drinks ago.
Wow.
I walk into the hotel room, my 2 buddies are sleeping in one bed. I hop in the bed with my other buddy, I fall asleep for like an hour, and I wake up, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go pee-pee, I gotta go pee-pee. And I remember like, my drunk mind just getting me out of bed, eyes never open, just going, I gotta go pee-pees, gotta go pee-pees. And so I get up and walk to the bathroom. And I walk, and I walk, and I walk, and I get down, and I pull the thing open. Oh, I start peeing. Oh, so much. I'm like a minute and a half into the pee, right? Like, I mean, maybe 1 gallon of whiskey has already come out. And my buddy wakes up and he goes, Matt! And I turn around and I go, and I go back and I keep on peeing. And he goes, Matt! And I go, I'm still peeing. I go, what, man? He's like, you're peeing in the dresser drawer. So I walked to the bathroom. I finished.
I was wondering what kind of toilet.
It was one of those pull-out drawer toilets. You know, everybody's seen them before.
Yeah.
So basically,
that don't flush.
Yeah. Saving water, Jason. Okay. So
time.
Basically, what you should take away from that story is don't pee in the dresser, but always be quiet in the hotel room when your friends are sleeping.
Thank you.
Excellent questions.
You guys are so polite.
Yes.
Do you have a question?
I do.
There's the first one on this side.
Hooray!
I'm super pumped. It's gonna be a good one.
God, I hope so now.
Yeah, no pressure.
Okay, so, yeah, thank you. This question is actually mostly for Reeve, although, Jason, you're more than welcome to answer as well. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for an extraordinary experience to both of you, so no sulking last night.
I'm just gonna say goodbye real quick. I love you guys.
Okay, so, I think probably it's fairly obvious to everyone.
Sorry they took my tail off.
Happens to the best of us. How did you get that on?
Just 1 more second, I'm leaving. Hey!
Okay, we good? We're good?
Great.
Okay, so when you're performing, you almost seem to shift in a different persona. Physically, you become very different. I'm just wondering whether it really feels that way for you and how aware you are of what else is going on in the room when it happens. Because you seem to be really in there.
Yeah, I'm not aware of that, but I've seen it in watching video footage back. So I don't know. I don't know. I think as a singer, you kind of have to. Well, you don't have to do anything, but I think it's good if you're not afraid of going to whatever place you need to go to whether it be even from a musical standpoint to create a sound, or to, I don't know, to kind of channel that energy. I guess, yeah, I definitely am not thinking about it if it looks as though that's happening. I'm not really sure, but
No,
yeah,
it's
no.
thinking about it. That's kind of the point.
Oh, good,
You're
good.
just totally focused on what
Oh,
you're
good,
doing.
good. Well, I hope it's not too weird, or it might be.
It's perfectly weird.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's, to me as a musician, that was the perfect answer, because I don't tend to do that as much, because I feel like I'm, I don't know, my musical performance is a little bit more, I don't know what the right word is, laid back maybe, or something, you know, and so I don't. Sometimes I'll click into that space on a certain song, or you know, singing a certain thing, but as a habit, it's pretty rare that I kind of, you know, open my eyes and be like, whoa, that was, you know, some other thing. But if you ask that question and someone says, I don't know, that's just what happens when I do that, then I feel like it's authentic and it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's a facade, it's not as good of a performance. You know what I mean? And I feel the same way when I watch him. You know, he's just in it. It's not like it's something you're doing. You're just playing. You know.
Yeah, it wasn't an ever question of me like, is it a facade? It's more a case of, do you feel yourself slipping into that? You know, does it feel different, or rather than?
Yeah, not really. I would say, I mean, maybe the best answer I could say is that I wouldn't say I'm a shy person, but I'm a bit more laid back and reserved in my regular life, and I love performance as a musician in particular, and acting. Both of those things allow me to go to a place that I don't go to in my everyday life. So I do feel like I kind of connect with something that is a bit, I don't know, it's like taking one aspect of yourself and magnifying it. Not that I'm even like conscious of that, but it's nice to be able to go there sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty different from the way I am normally, I guess.
Great answers, thanks guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Hi guys.
How are you?
Good. I was just wondering, what song would you like to collaborate on together, or maybe a song that you like but would like to play it in a different genre or something like that?
So that was a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of.
there's a ton of stuff I'd love to delve into. Do you do much Queen?
I love Queen.
Yeah.
I love Queen.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be really fun to do a Queen song.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. That's my answer, I guess.
I would agree.
Now?
Oh, now?
No, Queen is one of those bands where it's not like, hey, do you know any, you know, Skinnerd? It's like if you say Queen, it's like I'm not just gonna rip off a Bohemian Rhapsody real quick, you know?
He's got one. He's got one.
God, I hate him so much. I'm like, there's no way I could ever do Bohemian Rhapsody. And then he looked at me and goes, should we try it?
Yeah, go for it. If you guys happen to have a mic stand down there, okay. I do know how to play it, so we could at least start somewhere. Let's see.
And then he's going to do it.
I don't know the whole the crazy section. Do you guys want to do the crazy section too? Because I don't know if I know how to play that, but I can try.
You've been here too long, Reeve.
Okay. So let's see. So we'll give it a shot. Do you want me to start? Do you want to start it?
Yeah, you just start it and then you play the middle and then maybe you play the end.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. Let's see here. Maybe. Yeah, and it goes like. I never played this. Right? You guys know this part? So you think you can stop me and spit in my eyes? No, so you think you can love me or leave me to die? Sometimes now this is good. Baby. No, that's not. I don't know the chords. I'm sorry. No, I wish we could do this session.
Well, I feel like we're closer to that collaboration than I thought we were.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Hi.
Hi there. This is more for Jason than for Reeve because I do kind of know Reeve's answer on this. It's about the songwriting process. When you write a song, do you do music? Do you do lyrics? Do you sit down and go, I'm going to write a song today? Or do you just get hit by an idea and go with it?
When I first started writing music, it was total lightning strike inspiration. It was, you know, I'd be driving down the road and something would pop into my head and I'd either record it on my phone or I'd pull over and write down a little something, and then when I finally got the time to work it out, I would turn it into a song. And then as I continued to progress in my writing, and as I started kind of getting hired to write things, which it's tough if a director says, hey, I need you to write a song for this scene, just to say, all right, cool, yeah, give me the scene and then we'll just wait for lightning to strike. I had to kind of retrain my writing technique to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna sit down and write a song.
That's impressive. That's really hard to do.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm good at it yet.
You must be good at it with the amount of work you've done.
Well, thanks, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to write quickly like that, though, I think.
It is, and it's just a muscle, you know, like you sit down and you do it, and you know for a fact that the songs that you're writing are not as good as the lightning strikes. But the more you do it, the more you kind of retrain your creative process to be able to kind of turn the faucet on when you need to, you know. But in those instances, I feel like usually it's easier to start with the music. You have kind of a general idea of what you want to say with the music, and but because it's mathematical, you have a palette already there in front of you, and you know which colors work together. So it's kind of easier to try different combinations, so you can get the music down, and then the words come later. Whereas before it was much more, I'd get inspired by a phrase, a word, a melody, and I'd put the chords to it.
Thank you.
Thank you. More than we should have, I feel like. We were waiting for the mic to ask a question. Hi.
Hi to both of you. So my question's actually for Reeve. Firstly, I want to say your portrayal of Dorian in Penny Dreadful is incredible. And
Thank you.
I love the character so much.
Thank you.
I will also, side note, last couple of days we did the other convention, and the Outlander guys were awesome. And I know it's a fantastic show. Haven't seen it. And Sasha and David, lovely people, on Grimm, which is a great show. Haven't seen it. But I watched the heck out of Penny Dreadful, and I loved it. And you were awesome in it.
Thanks, Jason.
More applause because it was incredible. But it's about Dorian actually. I was going to say to you, if you had to come on stage here as Dorian in character, what would your walking on music be? What track would you pick for him?
Oh, maybe like Smells Like Teen Spirit. No, I don't know. I actually did think about that the first season. I tried to put a soundtrack together, and oddly enough, that was the first song that came to my mind, which sounds like a joke. And I don't know if it actually would be suitable. Obviously, some sort of opera music probably would be more suitable. But
I think Nirvana would be pretty good. He's pretty badass though.
yeah, so that's why the Nirvana thing could work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question for Reeve, but I had to ask Reeve if I could ask the question. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Reeve's mom is in town.
Yeah.
She came with him. Lovely, sweet lady. And I found it fascinating talking to your mom because, you know, I've got kids, and we were kind of speaking as parents about raising your children and all that kind of stuff. And I found it fascinating that your mom was relatively strict with you growing up. And she was talking about how if she walked in and you were playing Mortal Kombat or like a violent video game, she would take it away and say, "I'm sorry guys, it's too violent.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need to influence you with all of this killing and
no ripping hearts out and, you know, those sort of things."
Fatality.
How did she like Penny Dreadful?
She there are a lot of scenes that she fast forwards through. Not necessarily the violent scenes, even some of the other types of scenes. I'll go past these. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely not. I think the thing that she loves about Penny Dreadful is how beautiful. Well, obviously it's beautifully shot, and the artistic value of the show is, I think, so high, and like so many of the shows that are represented here. But I think that our writer is. I think that she loves the writing of Penny Dreadful, so I think that allows her to, you know, be a fan of the show, because I think that obviously she's not a huge fan of violence or a lot of seeing her son naked for like 20 minutes a show. So yeah.
It's work.
Yeah. It's fun pretending to be somebody else. Wouldn't you agree? Did you ever get the chance to do it? Do you guys do cosplay or anything like that? Yeah? It's cool. I like it.
Should spin the wheel.
All right, so guys, I don't know if you guys know this, if you haven't been here all week. When the mics are empty, I come to you.
Oh, but then also we could do this.
Ooh, yeah. We're going to spin the wheel, and if there's not a question at the microphone, you might have to think of a question, because the microphone might just be in your face. You never know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. The first date was really embarrassing because there was like a break on the back of the wheel and it looked like I was a total weakling, so I couldn't spin it at all. But okay, here we go. Okay.
Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. Man, there must be wind or something, because I thought it was going to land on Sing or Dance, but apparently there was a little bit more, I don't know, wind. It must have been the fans. The fan that turned the fans on. Well, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
I'm just kidding. It landed on Sing. Yeah, I think so.
What should we do, though?
I don't know. It's a good question. What, do you guys have requests?
Truth. Truth.
Somebody say Freebird?
Yes, and it wasn't us.
And it wasn't Krista?
Or Kat.
Are you throwing your voice?
I don't know Freebird. I know how, I don't know how to play it. I don't know. What can we do? What else can we do? Something that you could play or that I could play or music. Yeah, we did that. We can do that. Oh, wait. Sorry. Sure. Yeah.
When the night is come, land is dark, Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Ooh, stand by me.
Would it work?
Maybe. Okay.
There's a question.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I have one slightly dark and one slightly more serious one.
One slightly dark and
Daft.
one slightly
Daft.
daft.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you were like, I have one dark one and one serious one.
I didn't bring a torch. So the daft one is, if you could put an activity on the wheel that is not there now, what would it be?
Make Matt Cohen take his shirt off.
Not bad.
But yeah, mine was kind of close. It was wrap yourself in cellophane. Yeah.
And now for the serious
A
question.
slightly more serious question. Is there anything that any subject you've not written about in your lyrics that you've not approached for, I don't know, because you didn't quite feel that you could yet, or, I don't know, for any reason really, but something you would like to write about one day?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have an answer to that right now, but you reminded me of that. I don't know how it is for you, Jason, but for me, sometimes a song will come out in a few sessions. Usually for me, it's not just in one. But as a totally professional, collaborative songwriter, you kind of have to be able to go in there and write a song in like 4 hours, you know? I do mainly writing on my own, and for that reason, usually, you know, I might have one that comes out in a few sessions, but I have a couple songs. There's one song that I put out last year called Up Above the Weather, and that took me 7 years to write that because of what you just said, which is that I didn't feel that I was quite emotionally ready to complete that thought in the context of a song. So yeah, sometimes that does happen. I can't think of a subject right now, though, that I wouldn't be prepared to write about, but sometimes it is hard to write about things that are very specifically true to your own personal life. I don't know, that can be difficult sometimes. But you want to do that as much as you can.
Yeah, similarly, I would say it depends. You know, if it's a work for hire, then there's no subject I won't write about, because it's almost like an acting job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not really you. Someone hired you to write those words, so you can put yourself in those shoes and make those lyrics happen.
But if it represents you as an artist,
yeah, if it's me, then I feel like there's a few things that you know, there's some stuff in my past and some experiences I had growing up that were definitely emotionally formative, and I referenced them. Maybe, you know, I talk about in my song Journey. I talk about we're all armed with our guitars and we're armed with emotional scars, kind of meaning that, you know, we have music to help us get through pain and stuff, but I don't know that I've ever specifically attacked those things that I'm referencing with emotional scars, you know? So yeah, I mean, it's probably something that I should do, but I'm a little scared to do it, I think. Yeah, I hope so. Good question. Uh-oh.
Hey. Our backup dancer got here.
All right. We're doing a little.
I only said that because you were dancing.
Right. What'd you say?
I said the backup dancer's here.
Oh, okay.
Turn the Congo.
I should have just left.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
How are you,
buddy?
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. It's going. I think you just brought a very new, very what's the word?
Hairy energy.
I feel like English is my second language, which is so sad because I only speak one language. But yeah,
Whiskey your first language.
a good energy. That's very much welcomed.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. We didn't get there.
I said, well, actually, this is what happened. I went, and I sang the line. He had to
But
feed
to
me the
be
line.
fair, I mean, that's something that I kind of do. I have done that one before, so I knew the lyrics to that one, which is unusual because I don't know a whole lot of songs, to be honest with you, like covers.
Is there another cover you do?
I can try to, if it's simple enough chords, I can play behind you if there's something, or you should just play it.
I'm good, just like, I don't know, I mean.
Can I, wait, you might not be up for this. Should I ask you off mic if you're up for this?
You can ask me on mic, I don't know what you're saying.
We did an event in Germany, and we were at a karaoke party, and someone came up and they wanted to sing a song, and we were all having a good time. We were all up there dancing and singing and going crazy, and this person said, "Hey, let's do the Supernatural song," which is Carry On, My Wayward Son.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, yeah, we got the whole crowd totally fired up about Carry On My Wayward Son. Everybody was like screaming for it. They were ready, and they were just ready to rock out. And then the karaoke guy was like, sorry, I don't have that one. We're like, what? You don't have Carry On My Wayward Son? There's no way you don't have that song. Check again. I'm sure you have it in there. And he was like, no, sorry, I don't have it. Rob proceeded to do the most epic, guitar solo included, a cappella version of Carry On My Wayward Son you have ever seen in your entire life. I don't say this lightly. It was musical genius.
I will never be able to live up to that.
No, I don't know that you would ever be able to recreate the entire thing, but maybe just a little sample.
All right, you have to help me. What if I was like, oh, that was your question? No. Okay. Okay. No, just me. Once there was there was a confusion. Everybody, it's a giddiness beyond its illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Then the demon started moving, emotion or something. Toss about our luggage here for the ocean. That's the second verse. I ain't done a vision fortune. I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son. Every piece that you wander, they're weary and to rest. Don't you cry no
It makes me sweat. It makes me laugh so hard.
I remember that you liked it during the solo. I was like, everybody! It was still a solo, like, not something you could sing along to. Where, everybody! Anyway, that's goofy. I thought that I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I was like, cut! This is my moment! It's the whole point! Sorry, Reeve, you're a professional.
No, that was my favorite part of our whole panel so far. That was awesome.
I think, hi, do you have a question?
I do. So my question is how did you, well, it kind of applies to all three of you, how did you decide that music was kind of the career for you? Because, you know, in terms of any other job that you could do, and what made you decide, and at what point did that come to you and say, actually, this is what I want to pursue?
I'll start. The decision was kind of made for me because it was the only thing I was ever hired to do.
That's not too far off of me in some ways. I remember trying to get a job at Trader Joe's once. Do you know about this store in America? And they wouldn't let me. They said, son, we dig ditches here. I'm like, what does that mean? I mean, I actually took it literally. I'm like, I'm pretty good at digging. I can dig a ditch. And then he's probably like, what? Like, are you some weird freaky guy like a grave digger? I don't know. I don't know what he thought, but I think he just meant it's hard work, which I don't know why he thought I'd have a problem with. I took offense to that, but oh well. So I didn't get the job at Trader Joe's. It's a grocery store, basically.
For me, you know, acting was always like my thing that I went to school for, that I wanted to be, and music was like a personal passion, something I felt like, you know, just really emotional and passionate about, and but not something I ever really gave myself permission to do or to call myself a musician. And it really was a process after I got out to LA, you know, forming my own band, and you know, when I first started playing live, like I didn't allow myself permission to really play and take it seriously. And through the years, you know, and playing with people like Jason, I've come around, and now I'm like, accept that as part of who I am, and I'm much more confident playing my songs in front of people, which is something that I was very shy about at first. So, and now I take such great joy in it, and I consider myself a musician as much as an actor. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, do you have a question?
I do. Well, one, I want to thank you for bringing back the music of my youth. People don't realize how old it is.
People did a cappella Carry On My Wayward Son in your youth? That's amazing.
You don't want to know how old I am. My question is for Reeve.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I think we might be done after this one. Yes, sorry.
It's not a tough. You appear to go somewhere before you start to sing. Is that true?
Maybe.
Well, you close your eyes and you seem to recenter yourself.
That's probably true. I do believe in time travel. I sort of do. I get very emotional every time I watch a film about time travel. It's one of like the only... I know that sounds like I'm joking, and I did mean it to make you guys laugh, but I actually am being serious. Like, so I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know. It's possible.
You're awesome, man. I love how earnest you are. That wasn't yesterday you were eating that gum, and you're like, oh, peppermint makes me sneeze. Oh, yeah, you're laughing, because that did sound kind of funny, because it would be, but it really does make me sneeze, and I think that's a good thing. But, I mean, I don't know, you can try it if you want to. I love it so much.
That was a pretty good impression.
Yeah, I think that was good. That was good.
Oh, and you're laughing, because that was funny, but I'm serious.
By the way, You know what just happened?
What?
You're in the club.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think we're leaving the stage, leaving you in these strong, beautiful, wonderful, capable hands.
Is this your whiskey? Are you doing whiskey?
No, that was Matt Cohen's, but I'll take it.